I heard the key turn in my lock before I heard my mother's voice saying, "Oh, she won't mind." Let me tell you something about assumptions. My parents assumed that because they helped with my down payment 3 years ago, they had permanent access to my house in Portland. They assumed wrong. I'm Monica, and this is the story of how my family tried to steal my home for a party, and how I made sure they never forgot the property line between generosity and entitlement. It started on a Tuesday afternoon. I was at my office downtown when my phone buzzed with a text from my younger sister, Ashley. "Thanks for letting us use your place this weekend. Mom says the backyard is perfect for my engagement party." I read it 3 times. Each time, the words made less sense. I hadn't agreed to anything. Nobody had asked me. And the fact that my sister was thanking me for permission I never gave made my blood run cold. If you've ever had family treat your boundaries like suggestions, drop a comment and let me know where you're watching from. You're not alone in this. To understand what happened next, you need to understand my family. Ashley is 24. She's getting married to Brandon, a guy whose father owns 3 car dealerships in Seattle. She's beautiful, bubbly, and has never paid for anything in her life. Mom and Dad worship the ground she walks on. I'm 29. I'm a project manager at a tech firm. I bought my house 3 years ago with a combination of my savings and a loan from my parents. A loan I've been paying back religiously at 6% interest. They insisted on the interest. Said it would teach me financial responsibility. Ashley got a brand new SUV for her college graduation. I got a card that said, "Proud of you," and a gift certificate to Target. I'd made peace with it. I really had. I built my own life, bought my own house, earned my own respect. I didn't need their validation anymore. But apparently, they still thought they owned pieces of me. Pieces like my 3-bedroom craftsman with the garden I'd spent 2 years cultivating. I called my mother immediately. "Oh, honey, I was going to tell you," she said, her voice dripping with that particular tone that meant she absolutely was not going to tell me. Ashley's venue fell through. Something about a plumbing issue. And your backyard is just perfect. We're planning for Saturday. About 75 people. "Mom," I said slowly. "You can't just decide to use my house. Monica, don't be selfish. It's your sister's engagement party. This is a once-in-a-lifetime event." Selfish. That word hung in the air between us like a knife. "I have plans this weekend," I lied. I didn't. But that wasn't the point. Cancel them. Family comes first. We'll be over Friday afternoon to set up. Your father's renting tables and a tent. It's all arranged." She hung up before I could respond. That night, I sat in my living room and stared at my phone. Part of me wanted to call her back and scream. Part of me wanted to pack a bag and disappear for the weekend, let them have their party, avoid the confrontation. The old Monica would have done exactly that. The Monica who spent her childhood making herself smaller so Ashley could shine brighter. The Monica who said it's fine when it absolutely was not fine. But I remembered something my grandmother told me before she died. She'd pulled me aside at a Christmas dinner after watching my mother fawn over Ashley's new apartment while barely acknowledging my promotion. "Monica," she'd said, squeezing my hand. "The moment you let people walk over you to keep the peace, you teach them that you're a doormat. Don't be a doormat, honey. Be a locked door." That conversation had been 6 years ago. My grandmother died 3 months later. I'd thought about her words 1,000 times since then, but I'd never truly acted on them. Until now. I decided to be a locked door. Friday morning, I called a locksmith. I need all my locks changed today. Every door. Every window lock. Everything. That's going to be expensive, he warned. I don't care. Can you do it? I can have a crew there by noon. Perfect. By 3 p.m., my house had brand new locks. 5 doors, all with shiny brass deadbolts and high security cylinders. The old keys my parents had? Useless pieces of metal that would never open my doors again. I also called my security company and upgraded to cameras. Front door, back door, driveway, garage. The representative promised installation within 2 hours. When the camera tech left at 6 p.m., I tested everything. I could see my entire property from my phone. Every angle, every entry point. Then I waited. I ordered Chinese food and sat on my couch with my laptop open to the camera feeds. Part of me felt ridiculous, like I was preparing for a siege. But another part of me felt powerful. My house. My rules. My boundaries. They arrived at 5:30. I was sitting in my living room, watching the security feed on my laptop, my heart pounding. My father's truck pulled into my driveway first, loaded with rental tables. My mother's SUV came next. Then Ashley in her white convertible, followed by 2 more cars I recognized as my aunts Carol and Diane. They'd brought backup. I watched my mother walk up to my front door and pull out her key ring. She didn't knock. She just went straight for the lock like she owned the place. Nothing. She tried again. Jiggled it. Forced it. The metal scraped against the new cylinder. Then she knocked. Loud, insistent knocking. I didn't move. She called my phone. I let it ring. My father went around to the back door. I switched cameras and watched him try that key too. Then the garage code. Nothing worked. For 10 full minutes, they circled my house like confused predators. My mother gestured wildly. Ashley stood by her car looking annoyed. My aunts whispered together. Then my mother did something that made my decision easier than anything else could have. She called the police. I watched 2 officers arrive 15 minutes later. I watched my mother, her face red and gesturing wildly, explain to them that her daughter had locked her out of her own investment property. Her own investment property. I opened my front door. The officers looked relieved to see me. One was older, maybe 50, with gray at his temples. The other was younger, a woman with sharp eyes. "Ma'am," the older officer said. "Are you Monica Hayes?" "I am." "This is my house. Can I help you?" My mother's face went purple. "Monica, what is this? Why did you change the locks?" "Because it's my house," I said calmly. I looked at the officers. "Is there a problem, officers?" The older one glanced at my mother, then back at me. "Your mother says she has a key and you changed the locks without telling her. She's saying she has a financial stake in the property." I pulled out my phone and showed them a photo of my deed. "This house is in my name only. I have a personal loan from my parents that I've been repaying monthly. I can show you bank records. But the property is mine. They don't live here, they're not on the deed, and they don't have permission to be here." "She's being ridiculous," my mother snapped. "We helped her buy this house. She owes us." The female officer's eyes hardened slightly. I recognized that look. She'd dealt with entitled people before. "Ma'am," she said to my mother, "unless you're on the deed or have a rental agreement, this is her property. She's within her rights to deny access." "But we have a party planned," Ashley wailed. "My engagement party. 75 people are coming tomorrow. The older officer sighed. That's not a law enforcement issue. That's a family issue. Exactly, I said. And as a family, you should have asked permission before planning an event at someone else's home. Right here, if you're thinking Monica's about to win this, hit that like button. Because this is where things get interesting. My mother stepped closer, her voice dropping to that dangerous whisper she used when she was truly angry. You are making a mistake, Monica. If you don't let us use this house tomorrow, you will regret it. We will cut you off completely. No more family dinners, no more holidays, no more help with anything. You will be dead to us. I felt something in my chest go very still. Dead to them. For enforcing boundaries on my own property. I looked at Ashley, crying fake tears into Brandon's shoulder. I looked at my aunts, shaking their heads in judgment. I looked at my father, who hadn't said a single word in my defense. Okay, I said quietly. My mother blinked. Okay, what? Okay, cut me off. I'm done begging for basic respect. This is my house. I said no. That's the end of the discussion. Officers, they're trespassing. I'd like them to leave my property. The female officer nodded. You heard her. Everyone needs to leave the property now. You spiteful little, my mother started, but my father grabbed her arm. Margaret, let's go. We'll figure something else out. As they turned to leave, Ashley stopped and looked back at me. For a second, I thought maybe she'd apologize. Maybe she'd realize how insane this all was. Instead, she said, I hope you're happy being alone, Monica. Because that's all you're ever going to be. I closed the door and locked it. The new lock made a satisfying click. I should have known it wouldn't end there. Saturday morning, I woke up to 37 messages. Facebook, Instagram, even LinkedIn. Text messages from relatives I hadn't spoken to in years. My mother had posted on Facebook at 6 a.m. Heartbroken today as we celebrate Ashley's engagement without her sister, who refused to let us use her home for a simple family gathering after all we've done for her. We gave her the down payment for that house 3 years ago, and she's turned her back on family. Praying for her hardened heart. Family should come first. The comments were brutal. Aunts, cousins, family friends, all piling on about how selfish I was, how family should come first, how I owed my parents everything. I sat there reading comment after comment, feeling my hands shake. Then I did something I'd never done before. I fought back. I screenshotted my loan agreement with my parents. I blacked out the financial details but left the interest rate visible, 6%. Higher than most banks. I screenshotted my payment history. 3 years of monthly payments, never late once. I took a screenshot of the text from Ashley thanking me for letting them use my house. Proof nobody had asked permission. Then I wrote a post. I love my family. But I don't owe anyone unlimited access to my property. I've repaid every cent of my loan with interest, 6%, higher than bank rates. My house is not community property, and planning a 75-person event at someone else's home without asking permission isn't a simple family gathering. Boundaries aren't selfish, they're healthy. I hope Ashley's engagement party is beautiful, wherever it ends up being held. I posted it with the screenshots. Within an hour, the tide started turning. Real friends commented. Coworkers shared it. People I'd gone to college with backed me up. Then my grandmother's best friend, Helen, commented, "Your grandmother would be so proud of you, sweetheart. She always said Margaret needed to learn the difference between help and ownership. She saw how differently you and Ashley were treated, and it broke her heart. Stand your ground." I started crying. Someone from their generation, their peer group, saw the truth and said it out loud. My phone rang. My mother. I didn't answer. Sunday evening, my doorbell rang. I checked the camera. My father, alone. I opened the door but didn't invite him in. "Can I come in?" he asked. "Why?" He sighed. "Your mother's upset. This whole thing got out of hand." Did it? Or did it go exactly the way it always goes, except this time I didn't fold? He flinched. "Monica, you have to understand. Ashley's been stressed about this wedding. The venue falling through was devastating. Your mother was just trying to help. By volunteering my property without asking me? We thought you'd say yes. Then you should have asked." He stood there, hands in his pockets, looking older than I remembered. "What do you want from us?" That question hit me harder than anything else. What did I want? An apology? An acknowledgement that they'd crossed a line? For them to see me as an adult with rights and boundaries? "I want you to respect that I'm a grown woman with my own home and my own life. I want you to ask before you make plans that involve me or my property. I want you to stop treating me like a backup option for when Ashley needs something. That's not fair. We don't treat you like a backup. Dad, you charged me interest on a family loan. You gave Ashley a free car. You planned an entire party at my house without my permission. If that's not being the backup child, what is?" He didn't have an answer. "The loan is paid off," I said. "I'm making the final payment tomorrow. After that, we're even. No more financial ties. And if you want a relationship with me, it starts with respect." He nodded slowly. "I'll talk to your mother. Don't talk to her for me. Either she gets it or she doesn't." Monday morning, I logged into my bank account and transferred the final loan payment. $43,000 over 3 years, with interest. The total came to $47,286.32. Nearly $50,000, paid back in full, on time, with their insisted upon interest rate. I attached a note to the transfer, "Final payment. Loan paid in full. Thank you. Professional. Clean. Final." I'd never felt lighter. That weight I'd been carrying for 3 years, the weight of owing them something, of being financially tied to people who used that tie as a leash, it lifted. I sat at my desk at work and just breathed. Deep, full breaths that felt like freedom. My coworker Janelle noticed. "You okay? You look different today." "I paid off a debt," I said. "Car loan? Family loan?" She winced. "Oof. Those are the worst. They never really end, you know? There's always strings attached." "Not anymore," I said. "Not for me." Tuesday, Ashley called me. Not my mother. Ashley. "Hey," she said quietly. "Can we talk?" "Go ahead." We had the party at Brandon's parents' country club. It was fine. Beautiful, actually. The venue was gorgeous, way nicer than your backyard would have been, honestly. But Mom spent the whole time complaining about you, and it made everyone uncomfortable. People started avoiding her. Some people left early. Brandon's parents looked horrified. His mom actually pulled me aside and asked if everything was okay with our family. "I'm sorry it was uncomfortable." "Are you really? You kind of blew up her life on Facebook." I defended myself with facts. "There's a difference." She was quiet for a moment. "Brandon and I had a long talk after the party. He showed me your post. I mean, really made me read it, look at the screenshots, everything. I never realized how different they treated us. I knew it was different, but I didn't realize how different. Brandon pointed it out. He said it was messed up that they charged you interest when they paid for my car outright. He said if his parents did that to his brother, he'd be furious. I didn't respond. I didn't want to make this easy for her. She needed to sit with the discomfort. I'm not saying I get it completely, she continued, her voice shaking a little. But I'm sorry. For assuming you'd just be okay with it. For not asking. For what I said about you being alone. That was cruel, and I knew it when I said it. I was just so angry and embarrassed in front of Brandon and his family. That apology wasn't perfect. But it was real. Thank you, I said. I appreciate that. Are you coming to the wedding? It's in June. I want you there. Not Mom telling me I have to invite you, not Dad saying it'll look bad if you're not there. Me. I want you there. Are you inviting me, or are Mom and Dad telling you to invite me? I'm inviting you. For real. I want you there. You're my sister. I've been a terrible sister, apparently, but you're still mine. And I'd like the chance to do better. I felt my throat tighten. Then I'll think about it. Okay. That's fair. Monica?
Yeah.
That house is really nice. I never told you that, but it is. The garden you built is beautiful. You did a good job. You did it all by yourself, and you should be proud. I had to put the phone down for a second. Had to press my hand over my mouth to keep from crying at my desk. Thank you, Ashley, I finally managed. That means a lot. It's been 4 months since the party that never was. My mother still hasn't apologized. She won't. I know that now. In her mind, I'm the one who broke the family. I'm the one who chose a house over relationships. She's wrong. I chose respect over being used. But she'll never see it that way. My father calls occasionally. Awkward conversations about weather and work and nothing that matters. He asks how I'm doing. I say fine. He says that's good. We hang up. It's surface level and safe, and maybe that's all we'll ever have. Ashley and I text sometimes. Nothing deep. She sends me photos of wedding decorations, asks my opinion on flowers. I tell her the roses are pretty. She sends me a laughing emoji. We're not close, but we're not enemies. It's a start. I went to her bridal shower last month. My mother was there. We were polite. Distant. Professional. She complimented my dress. I thanked her. We both knew what we were really saying, this is the relationship we have now. Surface. Cordial. Nothing more. I can live with that. I had my locks changed for $180. I paid $300 for the security cameras. Best money I ever spent. Last month, I hosted my own party. My friends, my coworkers, people who respect me and my space. Sarah brought her new boyfriend. My neighbor Tom brought homemade salsa. Janelle from work brought her kids, and they played in the backyard while we grilled burgers and drank wine on the deck I built myself. We laughed until midnight. We told stories. We watched the sunset from my back porch. Nobody asked permission to be there because they'd all been invited. Nobody acted entitled to my space. Nobody made me feel small for having boundaries. It was perfect. I thought about my grandmother's words a lot during that party. About being a locked door instead of a doormat. She was right. The thing about boundaries is that they don't just keep bad things out. They also protect good things. My home isn't just a house anymore, it's a sanctuary. A place where I feel safe. A place where I make the rules. A place where respect isn't negotiable. And the people who love me? They get that. They respect it. I don't regret changing those locks. I don't regret standing my ground. And I definitely don't regret that final loan payment. The day I sent that last transfer was the day I bought my freedom. Not just financial freedom, but emotional freedom. The freedom to say no without guilt. Some people will call me cold. Unforgiving. Selfish for choosing my own peace over family harmony. Let them. But here's what I learned, family harmony built on one person's silence isn't harmony. It's surrender. It's one person absorbing all the damage so everyone else can stay comfortable. And I'm done being that person. And I'm done surrendering. If this story hit home for you, if you've ever had to set boundaries with people who thought they owned you, leave a comment. Share your story. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss what happens next. Because standing up for yourself? That's just the beginning. My house has new locks now. So does my life. And both are better for it. I still drive past my parents' house sometimes. It's on the way to the grocery store I like. I see my mother's car in the driveway, the garden she tends every weekend, the porch light that's always on. I used to feel guilty driving past. Used to wonder if I should stop in, try to fix things, apologize for standing my ground. Now, I just keep driving. Because I have nothing to apologize for. I protected my property. I enforced my boundaries. I chose myself when everyone else expected me to choose them. That's not selfish. That's survival. And maybe, someday, they'll understand that. Maybe my mother will realize that you can't buy access to someone's life. Maybe my father will find the courage to stand up for what's right instead of what's easy. Maybe Ashley will teach her own kids about respect and boundaries. Or maybe they won't. Either way, I'll be okay. Because I have something they can't take away, my peace, my home, and my self-respect. And those locks? Still work perfectly. They say blood is thicker than water. But the full saying is, the blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb. The bonds we choose are stronger than the bonds we're born into. I chose myself. I chose my boundaries. I chose respect. And if that makes me selfish in their eyes, then I'll wear that label with pride. Because at the end of the day, I'm the only one who has to live in this house. And I'm the only one who has to live in this life. Both are mine. Both have new locks. And both are finally, peacefully, entirely my own. Thanks for listening. Thanks for being here. And remember, you're never selfish for protecting your peace. Lock your doors. Protect your space. And never apologize for knowing your worth.